Hey guys, and welcome back to another awesome MTG video. Kaladesh continues to ignite our imaginations and inspire our creativity, making this set feel different to those that came before it. As with most sets taking part on new planes, Kaladesh will be bringing us a host of unique races, both new and long since lost to Magic, changing what we know in terms of lore for Magic the Gathering. This change has even spilled over into the eternally stagnant color wheel, reinventing it with Kaladesh Flair. These are the races and how they stand out on the world of Kaladesh. Kaladesh is a world transformed by the presence of Aether, a raw form of mana which seeps into the pores of everything from plants and animals to the earth itself. Beasts roam with a magical essence changing their physical being, while natural landscapes are lush and almost painfully beautiful. With Aether teeming on Kaladesh, it's no surprise that its very inhabitants have been affected by this substance as well. Elves, for example, inhabit a great number of planes throughout the multiverse, but those who reside on Kaladesh are quite unique. Despite living on a world ruled by innovation and mass machinery, elves on Kaladesh are still highly tuned to the natural world, as it's influenced by the flow of Aether, which some elves praise as the great conduit. This race has become deeply in sync with this substance. They come from the sprawling forest of Pima, a region flooded by natural ether streams which dip to the plane's surface from the Aether sphere. The magical essence imbues itself in every plant and animal it touches, making it more vibrant, more alive than any would think possible. It's this mana-soaked image of nature that inspires the elves of Kaladesh and their creations. They design contraptions and machines that mimic natural life, that bring beauty and grace to an art all too often perceived as industrial. They strive to create works that flow naturally with Aether, not bended to its will, allowing machine and mana to work harmoniously as it does in the forests of Pima. Elves here on Kaladesh, like most of the multiverse, are attuned to green mana, which is referred to as inspiration in this block. The creations of this race are inspired by nature, and again, it inspires others with their efficiency and grace. Kaladesh not only brings us familiar races, but ones we haven't seen for a very long time. Such is the case with the race of Dwarves in this block. Dwarves as a race were at one point very prominent in Magic the Gathering, but we haven't seen a dwarf since, well, I guess technically Shadowmoor, when we were introduced to the corrupt Durgars, dwarves who had been twisted by the Great Aura. But now on Kaladesh, we get our classic beard and brawn dwarves back, and I couldn't be happier. They're probably one of my favorite fantasy races of all time. Anyway, what's their role on Kaladesh? Well, in typical dwarven fashion, this race is highly skilled in craftsmanship and artificy. They believe that the beauty of a creation lies in its function, and those that function perfectly are most beautiful of all. Like their beards, dwarves spend long hours compulsing over every edge and gear of their inventions, hoping it will result in an orderly outcome. On Kaladesh, dwarves are particularly attuned to the essence of white magic, exemplifying the order and restraint needed to perfect their machines. In this block, white mana has come to symbolize the idea of building, and dwarves are the best builders out there. Again, as it seems to be with the case of every set, humans make an appearance on Kaladesh. Humans on this plane are passionate dreamers, coming up with ideas others only dare to. Their minds always leap to the impossible, thinking up ways to pull it to the realm of reality. Unlike the plants, animals, and, well, all other races of Kaladesh, humans are physically untouched by the essence of Aether, but this doesn't impact their ability to harness it. With a stark disadvantage, humans rely heavily on their curious nature and strong ambition to achieve their goals. While other races may be blessed by Aether, humans are capable of much more complex ideas and thought patterns. They envision synergies that others can't even begin to connect, synthesizing crazy ideas to create glorious new outcomes. The humans of Kaladesh gravitate towards red mana, which, in this block, has come to symbolize none other than synthesization. Another race returning to Kaladesh is the always thinking, highly intelligent Vedalken. This race has sprung up a few times through the multiverse, most notably on the planes of Ravnica, Mirrodin, and Alara. No matter the plane, they all share similar traits, being strong thinkers, magers, and artificers with long slender bodies, light blue skin, and 12 fingers on each hand. The Vedalken of Kaladesh share these values, but are amplified on this machinery-focused world. While they strive for perfection like the Dwarves, the Vedalken think far past this restriction. Many idealize the fact that nothing can possibly be perfect as it's defined, so rather they focus on other aspects of creation. If nothing can truly be perfect, then all they can do as inventors is continue working to make improvements. They see beyond a work's original purpose, its current state, to a future where its possibilities are endless. If it cannot reach perfection, then they'll improve upon it until it can no longer be improved. They are the chief innovators of Kaladesh. Iterations are the hallmark of this race, and nothing is done until a Vedalken can no longer work on it. As is the trademark for this race, the Vedalken on Kaladesh follow blue mana, and blue mana in this block has come to symbolize innovation. And lastly on the color chart, we get a brand new race from Kaladesh, the mysterious Aetherborn. This odd race is comprised totally of Aether itself, being a byproduct of the Aether refinement process which governs most of the civilized world of Kaladesh. Their physical bodies are in a state of constant flux, weaving magic through their fingers and very thoughts. The Aether that makes up their bodies is a substance that's barely containable when not harnessed by a machine, and thus, with every action, the Aetherborn lose a little of themselves. The Aetherborn are doomed to a short existence as their bodies slowly relinquish their Aether back into the Aethersphere. Yet, they don't dwell in despair. Rather, they live their short lives to the fullest, savoring each fleeting moment and enjoying all of life's pleasures. The Aetherborn don't adhere to the same moral code as the other races of Kaladesh, sometimes doing illegal things in an attempt to enjoy their short lives. As a result, they mostly connect with the essence of black mana, which in this block has come to symbolize reclamation. On a side note, this race could potentially unlock the secrets behind one of MTG's most mysterious planeswalkers, the alluring Ashok. By comparison, Ashok shares a lot of similar traits to the Aetherborn, with the whole swirling mana and energy adorning the head and having distinctly genderless features. Could Ashok be an Aetherborn from Kaladesh whose spark ignited as it was about to be reclaimed by the Aethersphere? This could give it eternal life and endless mana as a mage. There's still a lot to be discovered about this planeswalker and the Aetherborn. Only time will tell the truth. There is one last race I want to talk about before I end this video, and that's the Gremlins. Gremlins are barely a sentient race, certainly not sharing the typical hallmarks you'd see from the more humanoid civilizations on Kaladesh, but still playing an important role all the same. These little critters love the taste of Aether, which is hard to come by in nature. So, to get their big noses on the stuff, they go into major towns and cities in search of discarded or sometimes fully functioning machines in order to consume its energy source. By recycling this ether that would otherwise be trapped forever, the Gremlins release it back into nature through, well, its digestive tract, as is the cycle of life on Kaladesh. And there you have it, guys, the races of Kaladesh and how they fit into this world of marvelous design and fantastic machines. Let me know what you think about these races and their roles in the comments below. Tell me, do you believe Ashok could potentially be an Aetherborn planeswalker? If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, consider throwing it a like, sharing it with friends, and subscribing to stay up to date on MTG news and lore. As always guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.